about a case involving the tribal people of Tamil Nadu state and the state government. In the year 1992, something happened in a particular place, a district called Dharmapuri district. And what happened, on the allegation that the tribal people were hoarding smuggled sandalwood tree trunks, about 200 plus government machinery, police and bureaucrats went to that place, attacked all the men and women. Some women were raped, and eventually the tribal people had to file a case. And this case took almost 3 decades, means how many years? 30 years. And on September 29th, the High Court of Tamil Nadu gave a judgment in favor of the tribal people. For the first time, about 600 plus tribal people won against the might of the state government, the power of the state government. So the broad framework, this is basically about a particular case. That means the context is a legal context. You will come across words related to a legal dimension. That topic, be prepared. And also it talks about what the case, what happened, when it happened, where it happened, why it happened, how it happened, what is the impact of that, and eventually what is the judgment. This is a broad framework. Have you got an idea? Let us go to the editorial. We'll start with the vocabulary. There is one word, just. Put a star mark. Some words are important. You have to put a star mark. Here, just, part of speech adjective, based on behaving according to what is morally right and fair. The word just has 2 or 3 meanings. One example, you could write this example. He has just started the session. He has just started the session. Underline the word just. Here, just has a different meaning. It refers to, bracket you write, a recently completed action. A recently completed action. And it goes with, which tense is this? Present perfect tense. One of the uses of present perfect, we use it to express a recently completed action with the word just. I'm sure you all know this, grammar point of view. But here just means what? Fair. Already meaning is there, you don't have to write. Just a treatment, but write the combination. Just a treatment. We also say they have been treated in a just manner. Write another combination, just manner. Means what? Fairly or unfairly? Fairly, just a treatment, fair treatment. An important combination. So it talks about same meaning, second meaning, not grammar point of view. Second word, brutality. Write the adjective form, brutal. Brutal is adjective, brutality noun. Savage, physical violence or great cruelty. But there is one word here, savage. Right, underline that word. Write the meaning of savage. Savage, part of speech, noun. You can also use it as an adjective. Savage actually primitive, but it has a negative connotation. Animal-like, beast-like, uncivilized. Animals are not civilized. Animal-like, beast-like, uncivilized, primitive behavior, savage behavior. Have you got the meaning? Obviously, they are always cruel. Based on that, savage, physical violence, great cruelty. Reinforce we have got many a time. Whenever you come across a familiar word, you have got many a time, write the letter F. Means what? Familiar. You don't have to revise, only new words you have to revise. Still, what is a part of speech verb? What does it mean? Strengthen an existing feeling, idea or habit. From your point of view, knowledge, reinforce. From your point of view, knowledge. Paradigm, put a star mark because the pronunciation people mispronounce. How do you pronounce this? Paradigm. Important word, part of speech adjective. A typical example or pattern of something, a pattern or model. A typical example, perfect example. There is another word, Important word, write the word epitome. This also I usually give whenever we come across paradigm, ideal, epitome, perfect. These are the words you have to recollect. The next word, jurisprudence, an important word, it's a legal term. Jurisprudence means a legal system, part of speech noun. Idyllic, people also say idyllic, part of speech adjective. It goes with a landscape, hilly region. What is the meaning? Extremely happy, peaceful, or picturesque. Underline the word picturesque. This you may get in the misspelled words. Spelling point of view, the last word is important, picturesque. Means beautiful, a wonderful landscape. And descend, we have got the word ascend many a time. Ascend means what? Go up. Descend means come down. But in this context, not coming down. In this context, a lot of government machinery, a lot of police descended on the place. Means what? They went to that place. A different meaning altogether. Put a star mark, FELL, under grammar I am going to touch. To cut, knock or bring down. But write the combination, it goes with trees. That is important. Cut what? Not someone's head, trees usually. And the next word is also important because it can be a noun, it can be a verb. When you go out, today you can see our institute board also, a massive board, SREEDHAR'S CCE. What do you call that? Hoarding. That is British English. But Americans don't use the word hoarding. Write the word billboard. Billboard. Same meaning. Hoarding, billboard, one and the same. Have you got the meaning? Advertisement board. But it has this is as a noun. As a verb, it has a different meaning. Accumulate money or valued objects and hide or store away. Underline the word hide. Hoarding has a negative connotation. Imagine the government announces next week the petrol price is going to shoot up. Now it is 100, it is going to be 120. Across the country, all the petrol bunks, they have enough reserves. In the sense, they have a lot of petrol. But what they do, they put up the boards, no stock. 1 week, no stock, no stock, no stock. Then what is the benefit they are going to get? If they sell after 1 week, obviously that margin will be their profit. So in a way, they have the stock, they are hiding secretly, illegally. Then we use the word hoarding. Have you got the meaning? Hoard goes with petrol, provisions, important goods. When the businessman knows the price is going to shoot up, he will hide it and he will store it illegally. An important word. Conduit we have got for the first time. Whenever you come across new words for the first time, difficult to remember, you have to give 2 stars. Means after the session, I hope you guys are spending some time after the session. That is very important. Please remember, we can never remember by listening to someone once. Impossible. If that is the case, no need to invent stationery industries. Notebooks, pens, pencils, we don't need. After listening, spend 15 minutes. Ask yourself, what have I learned? What is that he has said? What is my perception? Grammar point of view, vocabulary point of view, comprehension point of view, a writing skill point of view. 15 minutes, it will do wonders. You will go to a different level altogether. Conjugate, an important word we have got for the first time, part of speech noun. Something that carries or moves information. But actually, a typical meaning, literal meaning, conjugate means, write the word. If you refer the dictionary, you come across the word pipe. And in this context, it's like a channel. Channel, not literally, not TV channel. A channel where goods are smuggled through different parties with the help of different parties. Imagine there's a sandalwood smuggler. He cuts down the trees and gives it to the tribal people. They store illegally. From there it goes to some other place. It goes to some other place. I'm sure you all have seen the movie Pushpa. So it talks about the conduit. It goes with that context. An important word. Atrocities. Whenever you read newspapers, quite often you come across certain words. As atrocities, usually it goes with atrocities against SCs and STs. This context also goes with the same combination. What does it mean? an extremely wicked or cruel act, typically one involving physical violence or injury, beating someone, attacking someone. Then we use the word atrocities against SCs and STs. Impunity we got last week, I suppose, I don't remember, but we have got this word already. It's a legal term. We have rules, but some people are exempted from rules. Then what is the word? Impunity. Part of speech, noun, exemption from punishment. Last time also I gave two important idioms based on that word. Please write that first idiom, to go scot-free. Does it sound familiar? Here smart learning already have got, recollect the related words, idioms, you can consolidate. To go scot-free. Imagine a minister has done something wrong, something illegal, involved in a scam. He deserves punishment, but he escapes punishment. Then what do you say? Simple English, you will say he escaped punishment. Better English, he went scot-free. Means he escaped punishment. Have you got the meaning? Escape punishment. How do they escape punishment? They show someone else and they give a lot of money to that person and they force that person to accept the crime. Have you got? Imagine the minister has a right hand, trusted guy, and the minister says, when the police come, you say that you have done it, so that I am safe and they arrest you. I will take care of your family, I will give about these many lakhs, later I will bring you out on bail. This is a regular practice. And that person is called, write this expression, another idiomatic expression, to make someone a scapegoat. Today I sound a little different because of a sore throat. I hope it is clear. That is important. To make someone a scapegoat means an innocent person getting the punishment. The minister's right hand has been made a scapegoat. Means what? He did not do anything wrong, but he had to take the punishment. These two are very important. They have given many a time in competitive exams. What is the last word here? Pivotal. Usually it goes with basketball, but here different meaning altogether, part of speech adjective, of crucial importance in relation to the development or success of something else. Something important, pivotal role. Write one combination. He played, someone has played a pivotal role. He has played a pivotal role. Means what? Important role. As simple as that. These are the words, but do remember, you cannot, by listening you cannot remember. You got to spend some time after the session. But again, you have to be smart. After the session, you don't have to go through all the words. Familiar words, ignore. Focus on important words, one or two words, and spend some time. That is being a little smart. Now we'll touch what is relevant from the exam point of view based on this editorial. Exam relevance, grammar obviously, error location, sentence improvement. The word just has two different meanings. I have already explained. One is it goes with present perfect tense, and you have to recollect one of the uses of present perfect. It is used to express a recently completed action with the word just. And just in this context means what? Fair, proper, just treatment, fair treatment, proper treatment. Might, you all know which part of speech is it? Immediate answer. I want you guys to respond. Might, when you M-I-G-H-T, obviously it is a helping verb. That's what I expect from you guys. Because you have already learned may helping verb, might helping verb. When we talk about may, might as helping verbs, what do they express? A possibility. And what is the difference between may and might? May, more chances, might, less chances. You have already learned. But tell me what part of speech is might in this context? The might of the state. Brackets, right? Very good. Noun. And it means what? Power. The might of the Tamil Nadu state means the power of the Tamil Nadu state. They won against the might of the state. And this has adjective form with the same meaning. Mighty. As a child, you must have read a lot of stories. Usually stories they mention mighty king. Mighty king means what? Powerful king. Mighty means powerful. Same meaning, the word form is different. Have you guys got it? Fine. But next one is very important, not next one. Hoarding already I have explained. Hoarding can be a noun, can be a verb. But hoarding as a noun, it goes with the ing form. When we use a verb ing form as a noun, what is the technical term for that? So next to the word hoarding, you write the word gerund. Actually it is a verb, but verb ing form can be used as a verb, as an adjective, as a noun. When we use as a noun, it is called gerund. That you have to recollect. What is the next one? You have to respond. You have the handout. I don't have the handout. I am sure you all know this. Fall, fell, fallen. This is something very important. Already there is a fixed idea. Fall, fell, fallen. She fell in the park yesterday. Easy to understand, familiar word. But what is the past form of fall? Fell. We have a separate verb. And first one is an irregular verb. It does not take D or ED. Second one is a regular verb. It takes ED. Brackets, you should write regular verb. As a regular verb, what does it mean? To cut down. Knock down, but generally use cut down. Cut down what? Trees. Please write immediately. Those who don't know, I see a lot of new students. Cut down trees. Have you written? SBI 2018, 17 or 18, they gave a question. I write that example. They fell many trees. They fell many trees yesterday. I have made it very simple for you guys. A lengthy sentence like, they fell many trees in my colony last week. But here what happens, when you read a sentence in the exam, we also tell students, I tell students, whenever you read a sentence, look for the time phrase. Once you see yesterday, which tense is that? Past tense. And what is the verb here? Fell. Already have a fixed idea, fall, fell, fallen. So under pressure you think, no, nothing wrong with this, you choose a fifth option. What is the fifth option? No error. But is the sentence right or wrong? Wrong. So what is the right word here? Fell or felled? Wonderful. I appreciate your response. That you got to. Not easy under pressure, mind you. And what is the next one here? Trial. Some words they come under confusing words. Here you have two words. One is trial. Trial goes with court. Whenever there is a problem, we file a case. Same day they don't decide. And one who files a case, that person is called plaintiff. What is he called? Plaintiff. One who files a case. The other one, dependent. Imagine you file a case against me. You are the plaintiff. I have to defend myself. I will be called dependent. That's a simple word. But many students don't know the word plaintiff. Then what happens in the court, first day, after 1 month, this took 30 years. 30 years means 3 decades. Every time each party's lawyers present the views. The whole process is called trial. Have you got the meaning? What is the other word? Write the word trail. Trail means what? To leave marks so that someone can find you. Imagine you went to a forest, you lost your way. You got strayed from your group. Forest, nobody knows the directions, obviously. So what you do, you take a particular, either a stone or a particular leaf or a branch, and wherever you go, the direction you keep after 10 feet or 20 feet, that particular thing. Then those who are searching for you, they can easily find out. Trail. Have you got the meaning? You've got to be careful, these two. So that's all about vocabulary, grammar part. And also I gave a brief, broad outline. Case, where it happened, when it happened, why it happened, how it happened, impact of that, final verdict. Shall I start? Victory for the weak. I will ask question, you have to respond. Who is a weak here? Tribal people. Tribal people who got attacked by the police, they are the weak. And for them, victory. Victory for the weak. And you may not understand. Next part of the sentence, on justice and the Vachati verdict. Verdict means judgment. I am sure you all know, but still those who don't know, better you write. Verdict means judgment. It is about on justice and the Vachati verdict. But what is the main idea of this editorial? The Vachati judgment brings to a just closure. Brings to a just closure means perfect closure, fair closure, the fight of a tribal people. Not easy to understand if you don't know the meaning of the word just. You have to read very carefully. Something brings to a closure something. What sort of closure? Just closure. And what brings the Vachati judgment? Brings to a just closure the fight of a tribal people. In a nutshell, you can understand. And based on that, the editorial provides what happened. Then it goes in a systematic way. A tribal community in Tamil Nadu that witnessed state-led brutality. Now I will not touch the meanings, but whatever is underlined, you have to have a look and quickly you have to write the tense or helping verb, active voice, passive voice. That you should be able to. Important, I will tell. State-led brutality, 3 decades ago, I have already underlined 3 decades ago 1 unit. What is the reason? It goes with common errors. A lot of people say, there you could write 3 decades. It could be decades or days back. 3 days back, 3 decades back. Right or wrong? What is wrong with this expression? You cannot use the word back. You have to use the word ago. That's a common error. You have to learn from that. A tribal community in Tamil Nadu that witnessed a state-led brutality 3 decades ago has just won. Here, just as being used with the grammatical sense. Has just won. Which tense is that? Because the judgment was given on September 29th. This was written on October 2nd. A recently completed action. So present perfect, one of the uses with the word just. Has just won a battle that reinforces, strengthens faith in the democratic process and the criminal justice system. See, going against the state government, not an easy thing. It's a daunting task. It's an uphill task. And you cannot no one expect tribal people winning against the state government within that state. The tribals belong to Tamil Nadu. They won the case against Tamil Nadu government. Can you imagine that? It shows that still we can believe democratic process and the criminal justice system. A battle that reinforces, strengthens faith in the democratic process and the criminal justice system. This victory on September 29th at the Madras High Court signals a paradigm shift, means a perfect shift in Indian jurisprudence. An important thing. Jurisprudence means what? A legal system. Here, for is a pronoun, a preposition or a conjunction. Immediate answer. Last time also I told you guys, the word for can be a preposition, can be a conjunction. Answer my question. In this sentence, what is it? Please write conjunction. Here it means because. This victory on September 29th at the Madras High Court signals a paradigm shift in Indian jurisprudence because, then you can understand. For a bit difficult to understand. Because it is the first time, ordinal number we have to use a definite article, the, for or because it is the first time that a community of 655 Adivasis defeated the collective might of the state. Collective power of the state, how many Adivasis, how many tribal people? Just 655. Then it talks about what happened on that particular night. The people of Vachati in Tamil Nadu's Dharmapuri district, who for generations lived in the idyllic foothills of Chittevi in the eastern Ghats. So this sentence talks about who are the tribal people, where they have been living, and how is the location. See, foothills of Chittevi in the eastern Ghats had their lives altered on June 20, 1992. And I have already underlined had their lives altered. Which tense is that? Past perfect. New students, you have to write the tense. That will help in the long run. Past perfect tense. Had their lives altered. Had, no, here it is, don't write past perfect, please write past tense. Had something changed. Had something changed. It is in a way passive voice, but past tense. Altered on June 20th, 1992. Then the next sentence talks about what exactly happened on that particular day. Police, forest and revenue officials, 269 in number, descended upon the village. See here, descend has a different meaning. Descended upon the village, remember the preposition, upon, means what? All these 269 persons went to the village together. Then we use the word descended upon the village. We use this with, when it comes to herd of, let's say, a lot of elephants. They go to a particular village and attack the fields. Then also we say a lot of elephants descended upon the village. Have you got the meaning now? Descended upon the village and accused. Accused we have got so many times, so I haven't brought the meaning. Accused means what? Point out someone without any evidence. What is the other word? Allegation. Accused the villagers of hoarding illegally felled sandalwood and allowing a conduit to smuggling. What is the accusation? Accusation is about hoarding. Hoarding means storing illegally. Storing what? Felled sandalwood, cut down sandalwood and allowing a conduit to smuggling. So when they hoard, hide, in a way they are providing a channel for the sandalwood smugglers. They cut down somewhere, they bring and ask the tribals to store. From there later they take. It's a channel, conduit to smuggling. Then 3 days they had to suffer. For the next 3 days, the villagers, women, the elderly and children included were beaten up, their homes destroyed, wells poisoned, that is something unimaginable, and 18 women, including a girl, raped. All these come under atrocities and savage, brutal behavior. All this happened under the watch of paradoxical situation. Who was the chief minister at that time? A lady, Jayalalitha. All this happened under the watch of an important expression you have to remember. Generally we say, under the watch of, under the guidance of, under the mentorship of, under the watch of Jayalalitha, who was the chief minister. Very unfortunate. The state refused. So consequences of that particular incident or 3 days of sufferings, the second part of the editorial. The state refused to register a case against its officials. Who were involved? Bureaucrats were involved. Officials means bureaucrats. Obviously the state will try to protect the bureaucrats. Based on that, the state refused to register a case against its officials, forcing the villagers. Because the state refused to register a case, they had no choice. The villagers, they had to go to a court. They had to approach the Madras High Court to seek a Central Bureau of Investigation inquiry. Because the state refused, they went to the High Court and they wanted CBI inquiry. That was the choice they had. The CBI filed its charge sheet in 1996. When did the incident happen? 1992. When was the charge sheet filed? 1996. Means 4 years lapsed. And the case was tried, past tense passive voice, by a sessions court in Dharmapuri for another 15 years. Now 4 plus 15, how many years over? Keep counting. While the villagers won an unprecedented victory. Unprecedented we have got many a time, never seen before. At the trial court in 2011, 1992 to 2011, about 2 decades, you can say more than 2 decades, am I right? No, 2012 would have been 2 decades. In 2011, that convicted. Convict, I haven't brought the meaning. Do you see the word convict in the list of words? Say yes or no. Generally, whenever we come across a topic related to legal system or an editorial or a passage, you have to have the lexical terms at your fingertips. Last time also I told, remember, what are lexical terms? Words related to the topic. So when you talk about a case, how does it start? How does it end? What are the words you are supposed to know? First, someone files a case. Files a case. And the one who files a case, what is the word? I have just given. You have to respond. Plaintiff. Important words I will write. The one who has to depend, dependent. Easy one. Then every time they go to the court, that is known as hearing. We use terms like first hearing, second hearing, third hearing, and they present the stand, evidence, all that. They try to present evidence, obviously. That's what happens in the court. Court wants evidence. But sometimes what happens, some people, smart people, they know how to go scot-free. They try to present false evidence. What is the word for false evidence? Alibi. I want all of you to write this word. Alibi is not correct. Correct pronunciation, alibi. Alibi means false evidence. You all must have seen the movie Drishyam. Have you seen? First one. Venkatesh, the hero, produces, actually he was in the place, but he produces evidence that he was not there on that particular day. He was at some other place. That is nothing but alibi, to escape punishment. Then what happens? Eyewitness, simple word, no need to write. Finally, the judge listens to all these things. He decides either someone is innocent or someone is guilty. First you listen. Innocent, guilty, they go with everyday English. Innocent person. Nowadays no one is innocent, that's a different story. Everyone is smart. And guilty, when you make a mistake, you feel guilty. They go with everyday English. But here, legal terms. Innocent means a person who has not committed crime. Guilty means a person who has committed crime. When the judge thinks someone has committed crime, then he labels that person guilty and the person will be punished. Then we use the word convicted. The judge thinks someone is innocent, has not committed crime, then the person will be acquitted. Acquit means what? Not to punish. So 4 words you have to know. First you write the word innocent. Innocent person will be acquitted or convicted? Acquitted. Then you write the word guilty. Guilty person will be convicted. All the 4 words should be at your fingertips. Innocent, acquitted. Guilty, convicted. And finally, whatever the judge says, that is nothing but judgment. You can also use the word verdict. Verdict, judgment, both mean the same. All these words, if you know, you can easily follow next time, any editorial. That goes with any case. Same words are repeated. Shall I go back to the editorial? So it says, the CBI filed its charge sheet in 1996 and the case was tried by a sessions court in Dharmapuri for another 15 years. While the villagers won an unprecedented victory at the trial court in 2011 that convicted all the accused on charges ranging from rape to atrocities under the SC/ST Prevention of Atrocities Act 1989. And this order was stayed. In our country, what happens? The court gives a judgment. Then it goes against someone. They have an option. They can request for stay. They can get the stay order. Same thing happened here. This order was stayed by the Madras High Court on appeals by the bureaucrats. The judgment went against the bureaucrats. They appealed for stay. The High Court yielded and it gave the stay order. Successive state governments. Later what happened? Once the High Court gave the stay order, the case is like status quo. Status quo means same situation, no improvement, no change. Successive state governments. So what happened after 2011? Successive state governments under the DMK and the AIADMK chose to protect their bureaucrats. The state government always tries to protect the bureaucrats. At a time, but present, what is the reality? If you follow the newspapers today, there is a clash between if you take any government, any country, there are 3 bodies which are very important. One is the judiciary, first one is the executive, second one is the legislature, third one is the judiciary. There is always a clash between the legislature and the judiciary. Now the judiciary has become very powerful. Today the Supreme Court also, it takes a particular stand that goes against the center. They try to prove that we can trust the judiciary and judiciary is strong enough. This sentence talks about that. At a time when the judiciary has been at odds with the government, has been at odds, present perfect active voice, means against the government, to be at loggerheads. has been at odds with the government over attempts to maintain the autonomy of the three branches of governance. Autonomy means what? Independence of the three branches of governance. The High Court's judgment upholding the trial court's conviction. Uphold, again, another word that goes with this context. Uphold means what? Support. Supporting the trial court's judgment. Warns an elected government that it cannot rule with impunity. Now, this judgment shows that an elected government is no exception when it comes to law. They cannot act with impunity. Means what? No exemptions. For the state government also, they have to respect the law. How does it on the fag end of the editorial? And while the SC/ST law has often been criticized for being ineffective, has often been, put a star mark. It is in present perfect, has often been criticized. Passive voice. And there are three verbs here. One important rule you have to recollect that goes with adverbs of frequency. I usually give 4 rules in this context. When we usually adverbs of frequency, always, often, repeatedly, they come between the subject and the verb. First rule. He always goes there, between the subject and the verb. Second one, if there are 2 or more than 2 verbs, adverbs of frequency come after the first verb. Here, has been criticized. 3 verbs are there. But what is the first one here? Has. After that, you have to use the adverb of frequency. What is the adverb of frequency here? Often. That you have to recollect. Important rule. Has often been criticized for being ineffective. Vachati is a rare instance where it has served its purpose. Means the law has served its purpose. It has been effective, not ineffective. This judgment is also a pivotal moment, an important moment in the long battle for Adivasi rights. Easy to understand. And this case will be remembered. It will be remembered. Active voice or passive voice? Passive voice. We will remember the case. Active voice, the case will be remembered by us as a case where, despite India's stark iniquities, the convergence of an alert civil society, committed lawyers, an independent judiciary, and the resolve of victims seeking justice could still work a democratic constitution and the judicial system to their advantage. Last sentence is very nice sentence in the sense it talks about 3 forces came together. 1, civil society. 2nd, the lawyers, committed lawyers. 3rd, the committed judicial system. Together they fought, and the 4th dimension, resolve. Resolve means what? Resolution. Firm decision of the victims seeking justice. This shows that there could still work a democratic constitution and the judicial system to their advantage. When all these forces join hands, the systems work to their advantage. So they got the justice. Is this clear? An important editorial. And here the tone of the editorial is one of writer's anger and condemnation. Anger and condemnation. I left some space. Whatever you thought you could write later. We'll go to the exercises quickly. First, let us start with the questions. Or do you want to answer the questions later? Error location or questions? How many of you error location? Raise your hands. Oh, majority. Okay. No, only one question then. Read the first one and tell me where the error is. A good part of the world's population is growing older, and India mirrored this trend as well. You have to tell which word is not correct. A good part, underline a good part, 1 unit, that's a phrase, subject. Of the world's population, underline 1 unit, it's a phrase. Is growing, good part, part singular, is growing, nothing wrong, present continuous, growing older. And the sentence here, the second clause, it is about a fact. Any fact we use present tense. And in the second clause, what is the subject? India is a subject. And what is a verb? Mirror is a verb. Because the subject is third person singular and the sentence is in present tense, affirmative form, the rule says we should add S or ES to the verb. So India mirror or India mirrors? Please add the letter S to mirror. The reality is that the population above 60 years shall double from 10.5% or 14.9 crore as on July 1st, 2022 to 20.8% or 34.7 crore by 2050. Answer my question, what is the subject here? Underline the word, the reality is that the population above 60 years shall, can you use the word shall, is it right or wrong? Why is it wrong? You have to recollect the rule that goes with all the four future tenses. What is that rule? We use will or shall with I and we. All other pronouns we use will, we should not use shall. So what is the right word here? Will double. The population above 60 years will double. Population is the subject of that clause. Question number 3. At 60 years, a person in India may expect to live another 18.3 years, which is higher in the case of women at 19 years compared with men at 17.5 years. I was wishing Raghu sir, so the actual thing came out. Here, men and women, good morning sir, men and women, same or different? Don't look at me like that. You have to answer different. When we compare different things, we have to use a preposition to. But what is the preposition you see here? Compared with is not correct. Change the word with to compared to. Compared to goes with dissimilar things. Compared with goes similar things. Make a note. Question number 4. When states with higher fertility rates expect to see an increase in the share of the elderly population too by 2036, the level will remain lower than the Indian average. Question number 3, question number 4, not easy under pressure. Tell me what is wrong with question number 4. Question number 3, you have to know the difference between compared to, compared with, only then you can answer. 4, what is wrong? Tell me the word, which word is not correct? Imagine I have divided the sentence, when the states with higher fertility rates, first unit, expect to see an increase in the share, second unit, of the elderly population too by 2036, third part, the level will remain lower than the Indian average, fourth part. Fifth one, no error. Which part has an error? How many of you say there is an error in the first part? Raise your hands. Only one student. Fully. 2. There is an error in the very first word. I told you the other day on Saturday, you got to be careful with the word while. Remember, there is a misconception. What is it? A lot of students think while goes with a continuous tense, when goes with a tense that is not in continuous form. That is not correct. When I went home, or I went home when my mother was cooking, I went home while my mother was cooking. Both are grammatically correct. Remember, I also told you guys, while is used to express the contrast. Here the contrasting situation. The rates are expected to see an increase, but the level will remain lower than the Indian average. So the first word is not when. Strike it off and change it to while. While states with higher fertility rates. After listening also you could not spot the error. That means easy or difficult? Difficult. So put a star mark. Read, go to the para jumble and see if you can get how many parts are here. Please, familiar context you should get. Ranging from cannot be the first one. Most states perhaps hold that one, such as no subject cannot be the first one. A gap cannot be the first one. Overall, possibility hold that one. There are also significant interstate variations. Here also, I have taken from the editorial. Generally we say, don't consider. But here what is the first sentence? Once you get it, it goes very smoothly. F is the first one. There are also interstate variations. F is the first one. Now tell me what is the second one. How many of you say B is the second one? Very good. It talks about the state variations. It should talk about the southern states, northern states. B, most states in the south reported a higher share of the elderly population than the national average in 2021. And what is the third one? A gap that is expected. D is the third one. F is the first one, B is the second one, and D is the third one. What is the fourth one? E is the fifth one. Overall, more than 2/5 of the elderly are in the poorest wealth quintile. And to show the range, ranging from EA, one pair, ranging from 5% in Punjab to 47% in Chhattisgarh. Also, 18.7% of the elderly do not have any income. Have you got all the 6? No, something is missing. What is missing? Here, overall, don't consider that. Let us go to most states in the south reported a higher share of the elderly population than the national average in 2021, a gap that is expected to widen by 2036. While states with higher fertility rates, such as, so after D, what is the word? What is the letter? C is the letter, substantiating. Now tell me what is the correct order. F is the first one, yes or no? Second one is what? D is the second one. What is the third one? D. What is the fourth one? C. Right? Because states such as. And after that, EA, one pair. Go to the last one, close test. You see 8 blanks, 8 words. You have to choose the appropriate word. Think of the word combinations, think of your grammar knowledge, all these aspects. A high proportion of the rural population is among the elderly and often economically. I highlighted that the new combination, deprived. Very good. Which one is that? D is the answer. To meet the challenges, physical and mental health, basic needs of food and shelter. Very good. F is the answer. Income security and social care. A whole of society approach. Remember I gave the combination holistic approach. The writer has used whole of society approach. A is the answer. And fourth one, what is it? E is the fourth one. What is it? Geriatric care must be fine-tuned to their, you have to respond. Unique. Old people, they have unique health issues. To their unique healthcare needs. What is the letter? Unique. G. There are several schemes targeting the elderly, but many are unaware of them or find it too cumbersome. Very good. Cumbersome to sign up. The National Policy on Older Persons, 1999, and the Maintenance and Welfare of Parents and Senior Citizens Act, 2007. Very good. I appreciate that. Lay down the care of the elderly, but to ensure that senior citizens live in dignity. Public and private policies must provide a more supportive environment. Now you can answer, tell them part of speech and meaning. First part of speech, attune. Verb or noun. Attune means what? Make aware of, to make aware of about the policies. Implications. First part of speech, then meaning. Noun. Something that is stated indirectly, not directly. You can also think of the word implied. And nurture. Nurture is a verb, regular verb, meaning take care of. Myriad. Can be a noun, can be an adjective. Many. Myriad reasons means what? Many reasons. And counterparts. Part of speech, noun. Someone at the same level, same position, same age. He is my counterpart. Vulnerable. Part of speech, adjective. Means what? In a position where you are likely to be exploited. To be in a weak position where there is a possibility for someone to exploit you. Quintile. 1/5 of something. Remember meaning. Part of speech, it's a noun. Deprive. Verb. Deprive means what? Not to have the privileges or make someone not to have something. They have been deprived of the fundamental rights. Make someone not to have something. And geriatric, related to old people. Cumbersome. One meaning heavy. What is the other? Cumbersome, adjective. One meaning heavy. What is the other one? Complicated. Very good. That is the word. Now we have about 2 minutes. Shall we see the questions so that we can finish off the exercises, all the exercises? What event led to the significant changes in the lives of the people of Vachati in Tamil Nadu? A state-led operation in 1992. Wonderful. What did the state government do when the villagers approached them to register a case against the officials involved in the Vachati incident? They accepted or they refused? They ignored the villagers' request. B is the answer. What law was used to convict the accused in the Vachati case? SC/ST Prevention Act of Atrocities Act 1989. What is the significance of the Vachati judgment in Indian jurisprudence? It signifies a paradigm shift in Indian jurisprudence. B is the answer. Significant shift, paradigm shift. What warning does the High Court's judgment send to the elected government? It warns against what? B is the answer. It warns against ruling with impunity. It means even state governments cannot escape punishment. No impunity for the state governments also. I am glad we could complete all the exercises. My only suggestion, I appreciate a lot of students now got used to the Hindu editorial analysis. I am sure you are getting enriched every day. And only thing, if you don't spend time after the session, it becomes a futile effort. But once you spend after the session, same day, need not be immediately, 15 minutes. Whatever is important, try to consolidate. In the long run, you will have the competitive edge. And that is very difficult to get to thousands of candidates. You will be in a better position. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.